What's going on, guys? Mitch here. Today we're continuing on with the project S-Works Tarmac SL7, and we are installing this here Sram red front derailleur. So hopefully the camera is able to pick that up. I'm doing this pretty late at night and it's pitch black, so just trying to get this bike built up. So anyway, a couple things to note here. I know that this derailleur is something that some people are not too fond of because it's a little finicky to set up, but we're gonna try that today and kind of talk about it. But let's go over a couple of the details on the derailleur itself first. So a couple things right off the hop. So you can see that there's this nice little scan here to set up things, so that if you want, you can go ahead and scan that and see what it's all about. Otherwise, it's pretty simple, to be honest. All we're going to do is mount this to our braze-on tab on the frame that we've already installed on the tarmac. It's literally 2 bolts. If you can do a water bottle cage, you can do it. We're going to set this in its place on top of the chainring and bolt it to the bike. And from there, it's pretty well, like right in the ballpark. On the back side, there's one screw here, I believe, right on the corner. And on that, we're going to put a little frame kind of bumper thing that comes with the front derailleur. You can see it has a bag of 3 different sizes of bumpers, and all that is doing is to provide support to the front derailleur. It's not to add adjustment or anything like that. It's literally just to put support on the derailleur. Once it's mounted to the braze-on, it just adds a little strength to it. So pretty simple. So what we're going to do here is get this guy onto the bike and start setting it up, and we'll show you what we're talking about. So pretty simple. Let's keep this project rolling. So as you can see, we have the cranks already mounted on. We did that one already. Went really well and super easy. This is the braze-on tab that I was talking about. It's literally 2 bolts, and if you want, I can show you how to do it, but let's be honest, it's literally put it against the frame and put these 2 bolts in, so pretty simple. From here, we're basically just going to, as I said, we have this derailleur, and the tool itself sits on the chainring. So you can see, hopefully, there's a, I'll try to zoom in and show with the camera here. There's a little tab in between there. See, there's a cutaway in the tooth, or for the tooth. That is going to sit right in the chainring. And I'll see if I can zoom in and show you this. You can see it sits inside, and then we're going to rotate the derailleur towards that braze-on tab. That's going to give us a really good starting point and just kind of get us into the ballpark for fine-tooth adjustments or fine-tuning adjustments. So let's do that. And when I say I'm going to bolt this onto the tab, I will show you as well. You can see it's a single bolt on the front of the derailleur itself, and that's going to go through this right here and mount to that front part of the derailleur. So pretty simple. Hopefully that's easy to understand. I know there's some videos online and there's some clarification needed, but anyway, put it on, move it forward, bolt it up. We should be pretty close. So I forgot, guys, there's a little plastic tab here on the front. That's gonna go behind the bolt. So I took it off and put it back on. But same process, mount it, get it tightened down. There we go. So now that's the first step. We are good to go. We are lined up. There's a little line here that goes over top of the chainring. Got to make sure the front and back are over top of this. And yeah, we should be pretty good from here. Now I just got to throw in that backstop adjuster that's basically just going to support the mechanism and then start setting things up. So it's not a crazy good setup right now, but it's a start to kind of get the project moving along. Now these are the 3 tabs that attach to the back of the derailleur, and all they are, as you can see, is they're a wedge. So large, medium, small, small, medium, large. And all it does is it wedges behind, depending on the angle and the clocking of the derailleur, and screws into the back of the derailleur itself. Not hard. It might look more difficult than it is, but it literally is just there to add support when you snap the derailleur out. So I believe I'm probably going to try the middle one to start, but if it ends up being the big one, that's what it is. So anyway, we'll get this mounted on the back. So this is difficult for me to show while I'm doing this, so basically I'm not going to really tighten it down on camera, but basically you look at it, there's a little tab that goes on the bottom of the front derailleur, so tab side in, and then as it lines up, this will sit along the back like this, and you'll just push it against the braze-on mount like so, And then all we're going to do is tighten that down. A little bolt right here. And that holds it from flexing. Very simple. There we go, guys. That little tab here is it's installed. Little 2mm wrench. It's pushed up against the brazon, and it's just added for support. Since this is a very loose install right now on the adjustment side of things, like I might have to kind of go back and adjust this. I in theory can loosen this off, and then once everything's adjusted, set it back. But for the time being, I'll leave it. But just some word of advice: if you are trying to adjust this, you will need to undo this and change things up. All right, so our front derailleur is now installed, and I'd say probably 80% adjusted. We're gonna have to play with it once we got a chain and all that stuff, but it's pretty close. Let's continue on, get those batteries on it, and continue down the line down to the rear derailleur. So that will be next week, but until then, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking this guys out, and if you have any questions, leave them below. All right, later, fellas.